Hi, I'm Sanna Atherton. I'm a registered nutritional therapist.
Hi, I'm Dr. Emma Williams, and I'm a GP with an interest in lifestyle medicine. Sanna and I decided to get together today to help you to stay healthy through nutrition. Firstly, we thought we'd talk about fruit and vegetables and why they're important and how we can get the recommended 5 portions into our diet.
Okay, so I would say 5 or ideally more than 5 a day if you possibly can. Your body really does need real unprocessed food to stay healthy, and fruit and veg contain absolutely critical nutrients for your body to function and to heal and to just work effectively. Um, but a way to get them in is first of all start with portion sizes. So if you think about anything green and leafy like spinach or lettuce, 2 handfuls, just grab 2 handfuls, and that counts as one of your portions. For any vegetable, it's your fist, so your fist size. Just imagine that as a plate of broccoli. That is essentially 1 portion of vegetables. Now, a good way of actually getting them into your diet is by sneaking them in. Now, there's a number of ways you can do that. So, for example, for breakfast in the morning, if you have a smoothie, just chuck in a couple of handfuls of spinach, some water or milk, 1 banana, some blueberries, and some cherries, for example. But I would buy frozen cherries rather than fresh because they're cheaper and they're readily pitted. So just blitz that all into a smoothie, and you get a good kind of 2 or 3 of your 5 a day already in that one meal. And if you don't like
And, that,
smoothies, you can
and that's
create
a really good way to add in like nuts and seeds and things as well, isn't it? Because we typically do miss off the flax seeds and the chive seeds and stuff, and you can just put those in a smoothie.
just chuck them in, blitz them up, and it doesn't really make a difference to the taste. It still tastes amazing. Just keep throwing in. I say a small handful. I say for chia seeds, tablespoon, or flaxseed, a tablespoon. You don't need any more of that, but that's essentially it.
And is
But
there any other way apart from a smoothie that we can add in our extra portions?
yeah, so so for example, if you think about, well, breakfast, you can bake an apple or stew some berries, and you can actually freeze them afterwards and add them to porridge. And again, you can get your chia or flax seeds into your porridge, just mix it up and add a berry or apple compote to it. Again, don't add sugar. We're trying to reduce sugar as much as possible. But for things like lunch or dinner, just pick a family favourite, pasta bake. I'm sure people are cooking pasta out there. Just grate a carrot, grate some courgette, or finely mince some mushrooms and just add them to the pasta bake, or a chili, something like that. And mushrooms actually have a great meaty texture, so you don't notice the difference in a bolognese sauce.
And I suppose actually if you have kids or you don't particularly like them at all, like actually blitzing them completely, as you said before, like in a bolognese sauce, it's completely gone, roasting peppers and stuff and making your own sauce from scratch, even the day before. So you're not rushed off your feet, so you can prepare it beforehand and put it in a jar or something.
Yeah, put it in a jar in the fridge, or you can even, again, freeze it in portion sizes, and you can use it. It lasts for ages in the freezer. But yeah, so things like that. But don't forget herbs, because herbs actually do count as vegetables. They're easily incorporated into any dish. So into scrambled eggs, chop a bit of parsley or coriander or some chives, chuck them into soups or stews, or again, your pasta bakes. Easy. It's easy to do.
And actually, yeah, you just mentioned soup. And how about desserts and things? Because I know it's becoming like near Easter, and chocolate is a firm favourite for a lot of people.
I mean, a great thing to do with chocolate actually is, well, actually, I won't say chocolate, but a great way to make like a banana chocolate ice cream. You get a frozen banana, add a tiny bit of milk into your NutriBullet or your blender, whatever you've got, add some cocoa powder and a bit of honey or stevia or xylitol, something like that, just to make it sweet. And you can just blitz it up, and there you've got chocolate banana flavored ice cream, and it's a great creamy texture. And if you want to get a bit more adventurous, you can use half a frozen avocado and add some cacao powder or cocoa powder, and blitz it up that way, or even make fruit lollies. It's again using real fruit.
Yeah, summer here as well.
feels like summer, I must admit.
And actually, you mentioned before about like frozen vegetables and stuff. Is that just equally as good as the fresh ones?
It is. In fact, if you think about, if you go into a supermarket and you read a packet of where your veg comes from, they, by law, they all have to be labelled of where they're actually originate from. And if they're flown from halfway across the world, it means that they've got to be picked early, they've got to be picked unripe, and then they've got to travel for hours across the other side of the globe to then be stored in supermarket warehouses, for them to be shipped to the supermarket for us to go and choose. Now, the one issue with that is, whilst it gets picked and ripe, it means it hasn't fully developed into a full nutrient, packed full of nutrients. It's only kind of halfway there or 3/4 of the way there. So you miss out on vital benefits. And also it takes time to ship it or fly it across, which means it's been irradiated, and it loses vital nutrients if it gets exposed to too much heat, too much light, and the nutrients get kind of sucked out, the life gets sucked out of it.
I suppose then, with the benefit of the coronavirus, then is we're looking more environmentally friendly, because maybe we should be having seasonal fruit and vegetables anyway, saving the environment from not doing that, and also sourcing things locally, helping your local farmers and supporting them and local businesses and doing that.
Yeah, all of that really does make a difference on so many levels, as helping the local community, helping the local farmers, helping the environment in total, but that also ends up helping you and your health, and you to get the most benefit out of fruit and vegetables as you possibly can.
So I've picked up an array of vegetables and fruit here, and we talk about like eating like a rainbow and stuff like that. They're so brightly coloured, but why is that so important for us?
Eating a wide variety of fruit and veg as possible is absolutely critical. But what actually gives the fruit and veg their unique colours are phytochemicals, or phytonutrients are also known as. And each colour carries its own unique disease-fighting set of chemicals. And it's these phytochemicals that actually give the fruits those vibrant colours. For example, you had a strawberry there, bright red, so are tomatoes. And that actually is a phytonutrient or phytochemical called lycopene. And lycopene is a hugely powerful antioxidant in helping to keep our heart healthy. But phytochemicals, they're not all good. For example, there's 25,000 of them, but some of them aren't all good. So, plants actually develop them to protect themselves. So, for example, there's one particular phytochemical that a plant produces that is like sunscreen to them, so they don't burn the leaves in the hot sunshine of the UK. But also, it also, some plants do produce some pretty nasty tasting compounds. So when an insect tries to eat that particular plant, it has a bitter taste and it doesn't like it, or it actually poisons the insect. So it's like a protective mechanism. That's what phytonutrients are to plants, whereas they're just beneficial to humans.
I suppose because of the antioxidant effect and what that has in our body to try and help with disease processes and protect us against that, which you can't really get in a multivitamin. Multivitamins are great if you can't get the fruit and vegetables from your diet, but actually they can have side effects and make people feel sick, but they don't have other things in that the vegetables have, such as the fiber and the antioxidants.
Absolutely. And the thing with a whole piece of fruit or a whole vegetable, all of the nutrients, they work synergistically, so they work together to help each other to be able to be better absorbed in your body, so they all work in harmony. So again, eating whole unprocessed food, so as close to what nature intended as possible, is definitely the best way to eat fruits and veg.
Exactly. And I suppose another way we were talking about how to increase the amount of vegetables that you have, is if you take one of your favorite recipes and potentially substitute a vegetable in and take something out or add some more, such as maybe adding lentils instead of a mincemeat or something. That might be another way to get something in. Another idea I've had is when you go around the supermarket and you haven't seen a vegetable before, know what it is or something, maybe just picking it up and trying a new recipe and seeing if you can have a better variety that way. That's quite a good way to get it in.
Definitely. And you may get to the supermarket and the only thing left is an artichoke or something like that, because what do you do with artichokes? You can do quite a lot actually. But so just try it, be adventurous, set yourself a challenge once a week. Just try something new, because you never know, you might love it, your kids might love it, it might be your new favorite way. And it'd be interesting to hear how people do incorporate different vegetables in their daily diet that they've never had before.
Yeah, and please do share in the comments any good recipes that you've got that you've substituted, or your favourites, or something you've tried. It'd be good to see. I've also taken out of my we mentioned lentils, because I don't think pulses aren't really high in the majority of people's diets, and the legumes and things, they've got lots of advantages as well. So I've got these kind of lentils and these kind of lentils. I've got no vested interest in where they're from, but I just thought maybe I generally use the tinned ones because they're kind of quicker, but the other ones are cheaper. So they've got their pros and cons. But what's the difference?
So, well, like you said, the ones in a tin are generally in water, and they're already pre-soaked. You can just drain them and then just eat them as they are. You can eat them cold, if you like cold lentils in a salad, or you can just chuck them straight and use them. The one thing with the dried lentils, they are super, like you said, they are so cheap. And you can buy vats of them. They last for ages in your cupboard. What you need to do, this goes back to, again, the protective mechanism of phytonutrients and the way the plants actually try and protect themselves from from nature, from insects. Lentils actually, they and other grains, they actually do have a coating over them, like they're called phytates. And what you need to do is wash lentils really, really thoroughly before you actually use them, because then you wash those phytates off. And phytates aren't good for humans, because or animals actually, but they can block the absorption of zinc, of iron, and also calcium in your body. So they need to be rinsed thoroughly before you use them in any type of cooking.
Really interesting. Well, I hope that's useful for you all. I mean, don't get overwhelmed if you're only on one portion of fruit and veg a day and it's going to be difficult to get 5. Don't worry about it. I think start small, be specific with what you want to try. So maybe having carrots, maybe Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and like gradually build in. But the more you can have, as in the whole food, I think the better it is for your system, the better it is for your body. And that's much better than the multivitamin. But as I said, just start small and be realistic with what you can do. And over the next few weeks, Sanna and I are going to be talking about other things such as vitamin D and immunity, and also how to include children and ideas for them. But if there's anything else that you want, or you want to share any ideas, please put them in the comments and we will try and discuss this. But thanks again, Sanna, for joining me, and good luck everyone with your fruit and veg.
Thanks a lot.